Hi, continuing on behind the scenes, real life. Listen to this show.
Speechless. Speechless.
Hi, I'm Kim Wilson.
And I'm Natasha Marchewka.
And this is Speechless. Welcome to our behind-the-scenes take on real life in VO, where we share our stories, our resources, and our unsolicited opinions. And today we have two really special guests. They're part of our secret society in Speechless VO. Want to give them a little intro, Natasha?
Sure, we have Nikki Lulo and Aimee Geronimi on the show today. And when we say we get behind the scenes and get real, we always do, and today we dig even deeper. Some majorly, if that's a word, relatable stories and vulnerability and really what we all go through, but the real deal of lives behind the microphone.
You're going to love these voice talents. Tune in.
So.
Hi, it's perfect. Oh my gosh. Hi,
Aimee.
Hi. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm honored.
Same. I'm like, well, am I going to really be on this podcast right now?
Yeah, you are.
You're famous. You're going to be famous, Aimee.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. Hi, welcome. Well, let's get started right away. Why not? What did you bring to drink to share today for our show here? Aimee, what did you bring?
Sure. I could start. Welcome to Milwaukee, where I'm going to be in my booth day drinking all week.
What is it?
What I have here is a Door County cherry vodka from Central Standard Distillery here in Milwaukee.
That's so cool.
Made with Door County cherries that it makes the most delicious. It does not taste, sometimes you have like a cherry flavored vodka. It tastes gross. This is like, oh my God, I'm drinking Door County cherries.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's dangerous too, because it floats to the bottom. So as we go along, I'll probably get more and more buzzed.
Oh, it's delicious.
That's great.
Send some to me.
For sure.
I'll
show you the bottle. I wanted to show you
please.
because it's super cool. Yeah, check that out.
Oh, it's pretty.
It is.
Door County cherry.
Can you only get that where you live, or do you know? Maybe we could find it.
I don't know, but I can find that out for you.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right
I don't like fake cherry things, but real cherry.
No, me either. No,
it's like a lifesaver. Remember lifesavers? I think I just dated us. Do they still sell those? Okay. Anyway, Nikki.
I have a couple of drinks, but it's
my gosh
here, and I still have a thing I got to record.
Yeah.
It's water.
Yes, as many of our guests do.
I have black decaf coffee, but I did bring a little tiny representative of what will be joining me in the hammock later.
Yes, please. A lime.
And it's the lime that's giving up its life for my margarita later.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to go next then because it's kind of similar. I found this in our bar fridge, Vita Coco, which is
I love how you found something in your fridge. You didn't even know it was there.
Jay's good at buying different things. So it's spiked with Captain Morgan strawberry daiquiri flavor. And I brought a lime today. Kim, you would be proud.
I am very proud. I'm dying to know what it tastes like. First of all, I as we do in summer, made a mojito with mint from my garden and a pineapple sugar rim. Hello.
What?
Yes,
Pineapple
you
sugar.
did.
What even is
Pineapple
that?
sugar. I don't know. I found it at a
cheers.
store and I bought it. I was like, pineapple sugar, I'll take that. So,
cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
And I'm
Good spirits.
Oh, interesting. Mine is good. It doesn't have any fizziness, so that's kind of nice. Coconut water with rum. Interesting. All right. Thank you for being here so much, ladies. For everyone, for our audience, Kim and I, as you may or may not know, we have a Speechless secret society. And it's really
That's so secret.
it's a fun accountability group, essentially a mastermind type of a group. And these two ladies are part of that group.
Mm.
And you're going to be getting to know them today a little bit more. So, Aimee, why don't you go first and
Hey.
tell us about your voiceover journey?
And
Wow.
it definitely, we want to hear a relatable moment, but not yet. Save that relatable moment for later.
Okay.
We want to
Sure.
hear one good relatable moment from everyone that kind of grounds us all. But first, yeah, just tell us your story,
Yeah, the journey for
the
sure.
journey.
Yeah. Well, I was a little punk actor, not a punk like punk rock, but a little punk, and was an actor. In my 20s, I directed children's theater for 8 years, like for a regional children's theater. And then I quit the circus so I could make some money, and I went to grad school and I did leadership development sort of work for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I always had a goal that I really was seriously was like, I'm going to be a voice actor. I don't want to do anything else when all is said and done.
Interesting.
So I wanted to get myself to that place. So I was like, I'm going to be a voice actor by 50. So when I was
Wait,
49,
so I was going to say, how old are you? How old were you when you were thinking this?
well, I was for years and years and years. I think I set it at 50 because I knew it probably wasn't very realistic until then. But and I was a smoker. So
You've got that wonderful voice.
smoker, yeah, it was a lot worse before, which is why I quit smoking to do this, so that I can keep the smoky voice, but not lose the smoky voice.
Not
Yeah,
lose the
so
lungs, right?
right, exactly. So yeah, so I decided that if I was really gonna do it, I had to quit smoking. And so when I was 49, I was like, I'm doing it. Fucking A.
Yes.
I flew myself to Amsterdam. I created this whole idea in my head of like leaving it there. So I spent a week by myself. My wife stayed home, she's very supportive. This is when we were dating. This was 6 years ago. And I walked the streets of Amsterdam for a week and contemplated and like grieved smoking and smoked my brains out the whole time, everything.
Terrible.
That on street.
Okay. But wonderful.
I kind
Wonderful
of
and
love
terrible in a
this
really
story.
weird way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really came to the realization that it was okay to say goodbye to it and leave it somewhere that I love so much. And just sort of it was like a cognitive behavioral thing, right? So I mean, you couldn't have scripted it in the end. The last cigarette I had was like on this canal in Amsterdam in the evening, like outside of this like really cool, I think it was a gay bar or a gay friendly bar, which is Amsterdam in general, but there was a big rainbow flag. And this guy was singing in Dutch the whole time. And then all of a sudden he starts singing in English, I did it my way.
Cue
And
the
I was
music.
like, I'm put my cigarette out. I was like, that could not be a better ending to this. And I
The
seriously
chills.
got on the train and went back to my Airbnb and got on the plane to come home the next day and started training about a month later.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That's
Standing
amazing.
ovation.
Right.
What?
So, yeah.
That's amazing. But can you ever go back to Amsterdam?
Well, well, I promised myself if I ever do make it back there, it has to be for like some very significant reason. And I don't know. Years ago, I've only been quit now for 6 years, but in the beginning, I was like, well, maybe I could have a cigarette when I go back to Amsterdam. But now,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think I would.
Right.
I don't think
Really?
I would. I have no desire anymore.
Mm.
But I could go love Amsterdam without it, you know.
Right.
Right.
So, and then blah blah blah. 2020, I took I walked away from my corporate world. Long story short, there was a reorg, and I decided to just exit the company. And I was like, then COVID happened, and then and my wife was like, her name is Becky. I don't can't saying my wife, my wife, my wife.
No. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
She was like, well, just like, let's do this, like take this year and just build it. And so over 2020, I was just like furiously trying to figure it all out. And of course, you don't know what you don't know at the time.
Of course.
And here I am, like finishing I think I'm just finishing my fifth year. And it's like, oh my God, it's a whole new world. I had no clue what I was in for. And I learned a lot from that. So that's where I am now. So I'm in my studio in Milwaukee. I'm repped in a few regional with a few regional agents. And my goal is to live announce a really big awards show and work. Yeah. And
Aimee, you're going to do it. Keep going.
I hope so. I hope so. Randy Thomas from your ears to Randy Thomas is because she was my original coach.
Oh, cool.
When I was having hot flashes in my booth, she was like, Aimee, calm down.
Now, I know
She's
you're
the best.
in charge of the Disabled Voice Actors Network. Is that what it's called?
It will be. I will be soon. Maria Pendolino, who I adore. She has not made anything official about what's happening. So I can just say that
she's created it, everyone.
Well, she took it on as a 2.0 from the original creator.
Oh, I thought she created it. Okay.
And
that.
Yeah, has done amazing things with it. And she's been working with Nava to identify what's next. So I will be playing a big role in it come August 1st.
We want to give the link to our listeners and viewers.
Way cool.
So to get that from
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah, for sure.
I know this is off script, but Nikki and Natasha, if you could leave something in Amsterdam, what would it be?
Anxiety.
I could go first too. Yeah, my crippling anxiety that I have.
Make peace with it and leave it there.
I want to make peace with it and leave it. Yeah.
I wanted to start an app called Leave It There, where like people could identify like where they leave something.
That's
whether
a great
it's, like,
idea.
Their backyard or Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And
you heard it
first.
Colloquialism though. What? Leave it in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Right. Leave it in Amsterdam, Natasha.
Yeah. So what would you guys leave? Did I put
anxiety.
You on a spot?
I would leave anxiety. And since I just saw Inside Out 2, I know exactly what it looks like. It's a character, right? So yeah, I would leave it there. Nikki, what you got?
I would leave self-doubt, second guessing myself. Yeah, that self-doubt, not being worthy.
Yes.
Well, I think I'm leaving a bunch of stuff. I might just drop off all the kids.
Yeah, let's just keep a suitcase, by the door.
That's right.
Yeah, they can all have a party
kids
together.
We're going on a trip. And you know what? Y'all can smoke while you're there.
Right. That's hilarious. But you can. I believe you can do things like that to train yourself. I'm a huge fan of cognitive behavioral therapy because one of my disabilities is a severe OCD, and it's a form of it called pure OCD, which is mostly intrusive thought-based. And there are many, many arms to that.
That feels like there's this whole spectrum of that because I can see myself on that somewhere.
And it comes with anxiety and disorder and all of that. So I actually went and got therapy for a week in LA in 2015 and learned a lot of techniques to do that. But then I came up with the idea to leave the cigarette habit in Amsterdam. And I was like, oh, you can use this for other stuff. Not just OCD.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Leave it in Amsterdam. I think we just coined that. Aimee, you just coined it, which we will use. Fantastic. I love this.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank
Nikki,
you for sharing. Yep.
Will you please share with us your story and how you came to be where you are now?
I would love to. So I did not know what I wanted to do when I graduated. So, but I went to school hoping I would figure it out. And I didn't necessarily figure it out, but I knew what I was good at. And my mom was a teacher and she knew that I was good at that. And she thought, well, why don't you be a teacher? And so I did. And I've always loved teaching. And so I graduated with that. But then when I graduated, I realized I don't really want to be in the public school system just because I really love nature also. And so I started to teach environmental ed at this really sweet little nonprofit. And they also said, can you implement the software for us? We don't know what we're doing. And I was like, sure. I've always been a say yes. Never say no to an opportunity until it's offered to you, or, why not? Or so I did it. And I went to a training and I realized, oh, I could totally teach software. And this is at the 90s. So it's when the software boom was happening.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, oh, wait a minute, I can do that. I can teach. So then, so I moved to the coast in New Hampshire and I landed a job in a startup software company. I was their first employee and wore all the hats and was the trainer and did all this and did their marketing and yada, yada, yada. So then from there, I started to move around and I moved to Michigan. And anyhow, I ended up working for 5 different software companies. But on my journey, what I ended up doing, developing my skills and my problem solving, like I love problem solving. I love creative brainstorming. I love teaching. I love doing all the alls. So I was implementing CRM systems, restructuring internal workflow, total nerd. And then I started to develop e-learning when e-learning started.
Okay.
So this is where it comes in. And over the years, I was asked, like, could you read this? Could you read this? We like your voice. And it was fun, but I didn't know anything about it. So I started to develop e-learning and I needed to narrate my own e-learning courses.
As part of your salary, right?
Was that?
As part of your salary, right?
As part of my salary. Yeah,
right.
Because I didn't at this point didn't even know that voiceover was an industry.
Right.
So I was narrating and then a class came up and a colleague said, hey, there's a voiceover class. And I thought, well, I should go because I've taught everything from pre-K to adult literacy and I can teach anything in person. I want to make sure I'm doing it effectively. I'll go and see if I can learn something about teaching with just my voice. So I went, and that's when I discovered voiceover.
You got the bug.
And I was like, are you kidding me?
With this.
So
what have I been doing this whole time?
That's exactly what I was thinking. So I stayed in software and I started to do voiceover on the side. And then as the years went on, I started to produce lovely tiny humans and I wanted to spend more time with them. So when we did another move and I was like, I'm not going to start again, build the village, find another job. And when you start a job, especially in corporate, you have to work like you got a double time. And especially to like, sorry guys, but as a woman, you have to really extra prove yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. And I have these fun little babies that I want to.
Yeah.
So I transitioned and I was like, what I'm going to do is take care of the babies and I'm going to build a business slowly while I have the babies. And now the babies are huge and they're off. One is actually, I don't know if you can hear him. He's cleaning his room and he has his headset in and he's blasting Sinatra and singing. And at one point I was going to text him and be like, can you please sing a little quieter? Anyhow,
I'm on
that's
a
how
podcast.
I'm
on a podcast right now.
That's how I
really cute.
Cool.
Into the
Wow. And so now today, what do you narrate? What are you fully just e-learning? Do you do commercial? Tell us.
Yeah, I do a lot. I do a lot of commercial. I do a lot of explainer. In commercial, I specialize in subgenres. Political is a passion of mine. I do a lot of automotive, a lot of healthcare. And I do e-learning and I mean, then we know. And then also what other, I did a long stint for Scholastic and Houghton Mifflin, which I loved. I don't do audiobooks. It's such a labor of love, but just such, I mean, it's also like, it's mind blowing to me, the absolute talent and fabulous, like the whole thing is just mind blowing to me. But give me a kid's book and I'm in. So with Scholastic and Houghton Mifflin, I was really fortunate to narrate a lot of the kids' books. I did the Curious George series, and I could do like George was a curious monkey, like that's my speed for those.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh,
such
I
a
love
great
that.
voice for it. Oh, that's amazing.
I know. And did you smoke? Because you've got that smoky, sultry thing going on.
Yeah, well, in college when you're running around and doing your thing, or then you see old friends and you're like, I'll take a bourbon and a butt,
Yeah, I want to smoke a cigarette. Yeah.
Bourbon and a butt. But
that's awesome. That's incredible. Aimee, I forgot to ask you, what's your specialty that you're doing right now?
Right now, I would say I do. It's funny. I've been booking a lot of radio commercial, and I think it's probably because of my charactery voice. I tend to play it pretty big in radio. So I just booked this another fabulous character for Synovus Bank, and I play a game show contestant. So I've been booking stuff like that, which is really fun. I book a lot of corporate narration. I do a lot of virtual voice of goddess work.
I love that. I love that you just said that.
And I mean, I've been studying my patootie off for years for TV promo and animation, which is going to get me. I mean, like next step for me is working on, and which I'm doing now, building the right relationships and working my way into the LA market, by working my ass off.
Yes.
So, yeah. But I think those are going to, I know those are going to be big for me. But I think I'll continue to book a lot of Medicare stuff too. I book a lot of Medicare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting.
Click here to see more about your benefits, because these are the benefits you're going to need to get you through your rest of your goddamn life.
Well, those of us over 50 are considered seniors by some in the hiring circles.
What? I think I need a sip.
Well, what relatable moment have you got for us, Aimee? Can you?
Oh yeah, give us a good one
with your audience.
Keep it real. This is how we keep this crazy career real, because everyone thinks it's such a sexy and dynamite thing, but we all know the terror. The terror behind.
I mean, I have had some terrifying moments. Because of, starting at middle age, you have more things going on. You just do, with your body, with your health. I mean, there might be people younger than us who have a lot of issues going on with their bodies too, but as a general rule, things really start happening. And unfortunately for me, I had a couple of really big health things, and it put me, I mean, oh my God, it was like one thing after the other. So I would like start gaining momentum, voiceover. Oh yeah, I'm booking some stuff, and oh my God, I'm making more money this year. And your tooth implant fell out, right? Like
not mid recording, I hope.
No, mid bite of Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, when everything's closed.
Yeah, it was so awesome. But it was things like that. And then it was like, okay, all right, I'm going to get through this, and then I'm going to do, and then bam, okay, you're going to get your knee replaced right after we do another bone implant. Like they need to do like a bone graft first again.
Oh my God.
Implant. And then I have this knee replacement, right? That's supposed to be fabulous. And from the moment I woke up, it was like, oh my God, they must have pulled my IT band too tight. It's still an issue for me.
Oh, no.
Oh God. Yeah. And it's like excruciating. It's like worse than before I got my knee replaced. I mean, hopefully my surgeon isn't going to watch this, but he's a good guy. But it's like, fuck, you guys pulled a little too hard on something in there. Debilitated me. Thank you very much. So I guess maybe the relatable thing is just like the ups and downs of it because of, or like my brother died in 2021.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Thank you. Yeah. And that was a few months of stuff. And then it was moving your mother out to a senior living community and dealing. So life really can get in the way. Yeah. And what I had to learn very quickly is not only resilience with the craft itself, but SISU, which is what I have on this arm. SISU, Becky and I learned this word when we were watching Eugene Levy do a show called I think it's like I can't remember now. The Reluctant Traveler. Yeah, and in Finland, they have a state of mind called SISU.
How do you spell that?
SISU.
SISU.
SISU. SISU. So Becky started saying to me, baby, you got SISU. because all these things were happening. And it was like, well, what am I going to do? I haven't been in my studio for 4 months. You know, it was like that. Like,
oh God, yeah.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
You know, when you are in your first 5 years, you know, you are
Magic.
taking care of business every day. And if you miss 4 months, you're just like sunk.
It feels like
over.
you've gone. Yeah. It feels like you've gone back to square one. Right.
Because when you're medicated, it's like all best plans, right? I was like, well, I'll just do a lot of marketing stuff while I'm laid up, and I'll do on a lot of drugs because my IT band hurt so bad. I was on like all the things for like double the time. So the one thing my mother taught me that has stuck with me in a good way is expectations are premeditated disappointments.
Oh.
She learned that in AA. And at first I was like, okay, mom, expectations are premeditated disappointment. But now I really do get it, because it really is. You build yourself up to think it's going a certain way, but you really have to have those like reality checks with yourself. Like, you might be rolling, and just be prepared that there's going to be a roadblock, and it's SISU. You always have to be in that state of mind where like I have no choice. I'm going to roll through it. I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to do what I need to do. And then I'm going to get back on the mic, and I'm going to keep, but I didn't anticipate that being such a barrier during my first 5 years. And I don't know. I think a lot of people run into things like that where it's just like somebody died, or something happened to your body, and it's like it shatters your like your ability to be cool, calm, and collected and do your voiceover work.
Yep.
And you bounced back. Well, what I'd like to say is you bounced back.
Bouncing back.
Yeah. So
SISU is like, keep
cheers
going.
to SISU, Aimee and SISU. Nice work.
Cheers to all of us, right? SISU.
Yeah.
SISU to us. And before we hear Nikki's relatable moment, let's take a quick break.
Sounds good. See you on the other side. Hi, so just popping in here for a second for our Speechless promo. We want to let you know there's only a few seats left for our event in Burbank on August 3rd. If you can't make it to Burbank, there is a Zoom option. So there's 3 webinars in one day. We have Marilyn Wisner teaching for an hour and a half. We have the Voicecaster team teaching, which is Kelly Mosinski and Catherine Horn. They are the owners and employees, the main people at the Voicecaster in LA. And we have Kristen Paiva,
animation,
an animation casting director. So if you can't make it to Burbank, check out the Zoom option. You can buy the webinars by themselves if you only want to hear one teacher, or you can bundle it together and save some money. So check that out on our speechlessvo.com website under /events, and you can find all the information there. And if you're interested in joining our Speechless Secret Society, then check that out on speechlessvo.com. We'd love to see you there. Oh, one more thing. We didn't mention our sponsors who we love so much. We have the Vorg, which is the VO Resource Guide, a fantastic, both online and in print guide to studios, casting directors, agents, you name the important resource, it's in there. We also have VO Extra as a sponsor, and VO Extra is the original VO online newsletter.
Newsletter.
If you go to the website, it's full of resources as well, and amazing webinars. And finally, who's our other sponsor? It's George the Tech. George Whittam has brought together all his techie friends, and they have this amazing group of brain trust, basically, of technical assistance. And if you need help, there's an emergency number, or you can just book an appointment. So do check out our sponsors. Okay, now back to the show. Okay, we're back, and we are on the edge of our seats for your relatable story, Nikki Lulo. What have you got for our audience?
This just happened recently, and it was definitely, I love the SISU story because it was I came out of it like, okay, be gentle with yourself. But I was traveling with the boys. We take an annual trip back to Cape Cod to see family, and a commercial came in, and I was in the middle of driving through the White Mountains, and I just had to get to the little hotel before we were running over and seeing my brother. Everything was back to back to back to back to visit everybody. And I was so excited about it because I miss my people so much. I'm on the West Coast now. So the boys have always just known me to do voiceover, so they get how it rolls, so I said, okay, we're here. All right, we have to meet Uncle Marcus in 30 minutes. I've got to get this commercial done. We've got to do this. And I was like, then they all just know, just get out of our way, because now I'm grabbing pillows and now they're older and they're throwing the little luggage thing to me, the unfoldy thing. They're like, Ma, here you go. And I cram it, and we're doing blankets, and I climb in. And I recorded it, and there was a glitch because something was going on with my headphones, and I was like, and it's hot.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, well, Massachusetts, right? I was dying. So, and I can't have the AC on, and I'm in this little cottage, and I'm in there dying, and now there's a technical issue. Now I'm sweating. Now I'm extra irritated. Now I'm like, no, nobody breathe. Nobody breathe.
Shut up.
Don't make a noise. We're in this tiny room.
I'm serious.
Yeah. So I open up the email, I go through, I record this thing, and I was like, okay, I think I got it done. My brother shows up. I'm like, I did it. Let's go have fun. So we went, and we had a lot of fun. And then the next day I packed the bags up, and I said, now we've got to drive to the Cape, jump in the car. And we were just about to get on the highway, and a message came through from the client and said, you must have sent me the wrong file.
No.
Yeah. And I was like, what? What do you mean I sent? And so I pulled over into this parking lot, and I said, boys, I have to do this for the client. And I jumped out. I'm not on service or anything. So I do my hotspot, and I'm going through, and I'm checking the file. And I was like, what is going on? Oh my God. I read the script from 2 weeks ago, and I didn't even realize it.
Oh,
It
no.
wasn't the new script.
Oh, no.
And we all strive to be incredibly professional. That's like
Yeah.
and it's like, how did you not even realize that you had already read that script?
Right.
The little leeway was for me is like in automotive, and Natasha, you know this, we get a lot of the scripts sound alike. It's just like a different, they're like, oh, la, 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 la. Now it's 3.2, now it's 1.3, now it's 365, la, 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 but you're bombing through. And I was in a rush, and I did it, and I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to be to the Cape for another 3 hours, and I'm already late because I sent them the wrong file, but I recorded the wrong thing. So I was messaging him saying, if you can wait for 3 hours, and I can set up the studio and I can do it again. And I thought, I can't do that. That was my screw up. And it's like 90 degrees. And I jumped in the car, and I said, here's the gig. Nobody's moving. Nobody's doing anything. I have to cut this. Get me my equipment. So they threw it up to the front, and they're in here. And I was like, you can get out of the car now, or you can stay in the car, but there are no changing your mind, And so I'm there, like trying to cut this thing
in the parking lot.
Yeah.
In the parking lot,
In the
and there's a
car.
dump truck they're doing construction, and they were
Stop it.
taking this, I know these, and they were taking a break, and I was like, I have to get this commercial recorded before those guys leave from underneath the tree and get back here, and I need these kids to be quiet. And they're wonderful, but they're all like this, just sitting, because they know, but they're sweating. I see that they're sweating because you can't have the car on, and I'm drenching. And I was like, and I always give them 2 takes, and then I have to jump out of the car. We transfer the sucker on my hotspot, jump back in, and I was like, okay, let's go have some fun. And we do what we need to do, and we get it done. But I realized, like, I had to be gentle with myself. Like, I was so angry that I sent them the wrong file because it's so unprofessional, and that I was holding everybody else up for vacation. And like when I dragged myself out from underneath the bed, I couldn't walk for a second to see my brother because my leg was asleep. So I had to hop out, and I hadn't seen him forever. You know, I mean, I just
Yeah.
thought, whatever, man. You know, I'm doing the best I can.
You're
I'm
Voiceover
doing a
man.
doing
fucking
all of these
awesome
things.
job, by the way.
Just,
Awesome job on your part. Yeah.
yeah, you
Wow.
just got to do
It's
it. And then if
impressive.
it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We can just do the best
Yeah.
version of ourselves. And that was the best version of myself when I totally
Yep.
screwed up and recorded the wrong script. And it was my best version when I was giving my mom angry, angry mom looks if I thought that they were going to move and they're just sweating in the car at 90 degrees in a parking lot. I'm trying to do it before the big dudes come back from their coffee break. It was
And
chaos.
like,
But
why? And then you're like, why do I let myself get like that?
yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'm like, oh my God, we just did this.
Ugh.
You know what? Whatever. And what's the worst case scenario?
I
What?
fucked it up.
They don't get the fight. Like my life is like what matters. And I
Right.
just have to ground myself, you know,
Right.
how I ground myself. I've got a lot of different little mantras, but one of them, if I'm with the kids, I'm like, the only thing that matters in this moment is my relationship with my children. That's it. But I'm not going to damage that because of something else that's going on. That is the only thing that matters. And so when I was done, I popped in, I was like, let's go have fun. You guys did an awesome job. And they're like, can we open the window?
Mom, I need a drink of water.
Yeah.
We can't breathe.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
But
you
anyhow,
so
like
much.
whatever you're
Wow.
doing is awesome, people out there. Like you're doing the best version of yourself, and that is what you should be doing.
Sisu.
Sisu.
Well,
Just
if
point to
she-
this every time.
Yeah. Hey,
That
cheers
looks
to you.
good.
That was like so vulnerable and so awesome and gave me some really nice grounding points as well.
I
Thanks.
think
Oh, yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, we screw up sometimes. We screw up.
For sure.
Well,
And I
So
think
we
there's something.
do,
Yeah. I was just going to
but
say,
we're
I think there's something to be said.
we're thrown into these situations that are, you know, mustache sweat situations like all the time.
Look at
I'm
me right
just
now.
talking to George Whittam, and he was telling me about these major pros, ones that like major pros, and they're going through these same situations. We're all doing this, and so it's great. I mean, in
Yeah.
terms of mistakes, yeah, shit happens all the time. Is that
And it
Oh,
right?
matters how we
yeah.
respond, right?
It does.
That's the only thing that we can control is how we respond.
Right.
You know? And I did
Right.
want to just take 1 second and apologize. Amy, when you were sharing your story,
Yeah.
I had to send it. My son came out of his room and he was singing so loudly, full on into the kitchen, out. And so I apologize. I had to grab my phone. That's what I was doing and I was like, dude,
Girl, you're the only one who noticed that. I thank you for apologizing. I had no idea.
never would have done
but
that. But
thank
I'm
you.
like,
I appreciate that.
I noticed that Kim grew a tail during your story, Nikki.
Did
I
you
see
notice that?
It was beautiful.
The
To our-
cat
noticed when
jumped
you
on my
were-
lap and scared the crap out of me. I was like, "Ah."
Nikki,
To
when
our
you were
listeners,
speaking,
Kim-
Oh, I thought you were just so riveted by my story. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, what happened next?
I was fidgeting with my light over here with my like chicken fat on my arm flapping while you were talking.
Look at us being all vulnerable.
I was
Cheers to
like,
vulnerability.
Hey,
Cheers.
this is a
Cheers to
great episode. I'm loving it.
Mm.
Fabulous.
Right
Well-
before we leave, I'm going to run down a quick game that we play that I stole from somebody else, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
It's called This or That. And you can elaborate or not. Are you
Right.
ready?
Mhm.
This or that, lead-ins or not?
Not.
Sometimes.
Excellent answer. Who are you or who are you speaking to?
That's a tough one because
I know.
We'll speed that part up.
yeah, I don't know. Who I am in that moment.
Who you are in that moment. I love it. What about you, Nikki?
It depends on the script. If I can relate to it, then it's me and I pick somebody to talk to. And if I can't, then I figure something else out. I tap into, the coaches who would be yelling at me to tell me to do this thing instead. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, long form. Do you edit as you go or do you edit after recording?
Edit as I go for sure. Punch and roll all the way.
What?
Wow. Yeah.
Nikki.
Well, I have my crazy ass clapping system that I do. So yeah,
Ass clapping.
Crazy ass clapping.
Crazy, no,
Now
not
here we go.
Crazy ass clapping.
I
Kevin said
want to
it,
do the
not
crazy ass clapping.
It's crazy ass clapping.
That's good.
That's the best.
You guys are fun.
I'm dead.
So I can just, I go through and then I edit after. I'm like, oh, there's 5.
Can you
Oh,
show us what
there's
this crazy
1.
ass clapping? We want a demonstration.
You know, I do punch and roll all the way is from Karen Gilfrey. She was the one who inspired me to just master punch and roll, baby, and it's gonna go so much easier. I think heard her say that on a
yeah, she did say that once.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, it changed my life.
That's fantastic
in a big way, because you really do have a better flow, and you really reduce errors in a big way.
Yeah.
So
I need to figure that out.
I got to figure that out too.
That sounds like a fun exploration.
It doesn't sound as fun as ass clapping, but okay. Warm-ups every day or only when sick or strained? Be honest. I'm only when sick or strained, and I know that's not the right answer, but
I say it depends for me. If I'm in the morning in the booth and I have a deadline for an audition and I don't want to sound like I just woke up, I have my steamer or my vaporizer for 5 minutes. And I do some stretches and some, lip trills and stuff like that, just so that I can loosen my body up and stuff. But then, there are times in the afternoon where you're on a roll and you just sit down and just do your thing, right? So I guess it depends.
Depends. Good answer.
Yeah,
Nikki.
Very well said.
Yeah, it depends for me too. I mean, this morning I had to, but it was because it was a 6 a.m. thing. So I'm all about the straw phonation and then the vocal.
Yes.
But then, if I'm sounding like I'm supposed to sound in that script in the middle of the day, great. And then if it's a long form, so that teenager is going to be sacrificed after this.
We can't hear him.
You can hear that on my.
We can't hear him.
But I wish we could.
It depends on the script, but I do, whatever I need to.
All right. Now, creative first take, or do you use your safe one as the first?
I almost always use my safe one first, because I've been told many, many times, but that's not the one they were looking for right out of the gate. Do the safe, do what they're asking for first, play with the second one, differentiate yourself, in each of them. But I've heard more often than not, they want to hear what you come up with for the actual spot. Don't get goofy tunes or start, riffing or, adding words or, Joe Schmo, take 3 or that kind of stuff.
What about you, Nikki?
I mean, mine depends on who I'm submitting it to, really.
Here's a quick note to our folks. Get to know your casting directors. They will let you know what they want. Do they want do they want your creative first submission, or your second take? Okay. Do you break down the script with a pencil, or do you do it in your head? Or do you even break down your script at all, folks?
This is a great question.
It is.
I just learned how important it is to mark your scripts up for political. I worked with, oh my gosh, he's Brandon Perry. Oh, I got it. And he was like, you may not, once you catch a groove for how you do your corporate narration or what have you, but with political, you have to, because you really need to know where to punch it, where to really use air quotes when there are air quotes in the script, because it really helps it come across, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what I do, because I have a visual disability, so I was born blind in my left eye. So I'm legally blind in my left eye, non-correctable. So I have some visual, things that I have to have set up in order for me to see my scripts. So I use a teleprompter. I take all the copy, I throw it in a teleprompter. If it's a political, I do, my studying up and highlighting. If it's a commercial, I'll sometimes mark it up. I feel like I've gotten to the point where I have instinct for it. like if I'm having trouble with it and need to just stop and figure out how to say a word differently or mark it differently, I might.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nikki.
I'm a penciler. It depends on how long it is and if it's, a brand that I've done before, But I mean, I go through and I try to find the story first. But then if there's places where I just want to smooth it out, or I think it'd be interesting, then I'll mark it up. But I don't usually do it in my head unless I listen to music while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Which is
same.
really nice. And then I just let it flow. And then I'm like, whatever's going to come out, if that's the mood and that's
Isn't
the
that
music that I'm
great?
listening to, I'm just going to let it all happen the way it's supposed to happen.
I just did that this morning and I reminded myself how magical it is. There was an
Yeah.
audition
Music.
that you might have
Yeah.
seen that was like, it's going to be with like a really like funky vibe background music. So I just Googled funky vibe background music and like played it real low.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It's amazing how different you sound when you have
Yeah.
that for inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So-
amazing. Yeah, I think it
This-
distracts us from our sound. It distracts us from
Right.
overanalyzing us because music
Mhm.
is so powerful, as we know, and it brings up so many emotions that it just
Yeah.
allows us to feel and be.
Animation, you really ought to mark up to, I have to say. I mean, when you're developing your characters for animation, you're just writing ideas down and you're like, putting things in parentheses to remind you that you wanted your character to be a certain way.
Yeah.
That's a good one, I would say, too, to mark up.
Well, it leads me
Probably
to my
two
next
different
question. The music part was headphones on or headphones off?
Headphones on.
Yeah, I'm an honor.
You're an honor.
Every once in a
Um,
while, I'll pull it back when I'm doing corporate because you know how you get, or audiobooks. I've done some nonfiction audiobooks. You get so lost in your own tone and zone. So sometimes I'll pull it off and just like, like reset the sound of my voice for a second.
Okay. Good idea.
Kind of a thing, and then put the headphones back on.
Good idea.
shoes on or off in the booth?
On.
They're off, but only because I usually just am a barefooter in life in general.
I'm gonna say Nikki
And I'm the
doesn't
opposite.
really wear shoes anyway, so
And I have bad knees,
Just
so I have to
survive.
wear shoes all the time.
Right. So you
Oh.
definitely are a shoe honor.
I'm
Okay, and the most important question of all, guys: pants on or pants off in the booth?
Mm.
I pants on for sure because I certainly don't want any crack sweat soaking into my chair.
Plus you're wearing shoes.
Plus, I'm wearing shoes.
Plus, you're wearing shoes, and that would just be
Right,
weird.
that would be
Unless I
weird.
buy
No
some like
pants, but
absorbent.
shoes.
Yeah,
That would be
like
strange. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm so hot right now. And it's like I would melt down. So I'm definitely pants and lots of tank tops.
Tank tops
Yeah.
and pants. Nikki, pants on or
Shorts.
pants off?
I'm a pants on, but when it's hot, I wear my lobster shorts, which I may
Oh.
or may not be wearing right now.
Right now.
Oh, I thought you were going
Everyone-
to say which I may not be wearing underwear with.
Oh,
Well,
Everyone might
but
need
Yeah, that's where
lobster
the whole
shorts.
ass clap thing comes
Right.
in.
It's easier to ask clap that
It's all related. It's all full circle. There you go. There you go.
Oh,
friends.
full circle. Well,
That's the show.
thank
Full
you for
circle.
the entertainment today.
You guys are the best. I'm
You
so
pleasure
sure,
to
you
have
sure
you.
are
Thank you
fun.
so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you.
much.
Honored to
Cheers,
be here with
everybody.
you all.
So honored.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.
This episode of Speechless is brought to you by
Hey, did you know that the very first newsletter in our industry still exists today?
I did. It's called Voiceover Extra.
Mhm. It's got daily announcements, it's got career building advice, it's got products, opportunities.
Tons of articles, tons of
Yes.
webinars to purchase.
Yes, and we're going to be extra, so extra, and tell you to sign up for VoiceOver Extra. Tell them how.
You go to voiceoverextra.com. That's voiceoverextra.com.
Hey, is tech holding you back?
Let George the .tech take your studio to the next level.
That's right. All you have to do is schedule a quick consultation, get back on track.
George has brought together top-notch technicians to assist you via an emergency contact line.
Which is my favorite
Totally.
thing ever. Hey, you can benefit from webinars, training modules, recording, editing, studio setup, and troubleshooting.
Level up with George the .tech today. The VoiceOver Resource Guide. What is the VoiceOver Resource Guide?
It's an incredible networking tool. Not only that, but it's also the industry's oldest publication since, drumroll please, 1988.
Sounded like a cat. The publication comes out twice a year and now covers LA and New York and Chicago.
And there's also a free online version called thevorg.net.
Right. Here you can find recording studios, casting services, agents, rates, demo production, events, and so much more, and has the most up-to-date map search.
That's pretty cool. You can pick up your very own publication in various locations across the United States, or just go to thevorg.net and get one shipped right to you.
Speechless.